Hey guys, and welcome to Life on the Hill. In today's video, you'll be joining me and my family as we finish crossing Lowe's Lake and make it up to the canoe carry. You'll also see us cross Big Deer Pond and make it all the way to the Oswegatchie River, where we will spend our second night in the Adirondacks. And before you watch this video, make sure you watch part 1 of our adventures in the Adirondacks, which is on Lowe's Lake. I will put the link below in the description box.
Day 2, we are finally back on the water on Lowe's Lake. The temperature is probably in the lower 60s. Overnight it was down in the 50s. And it's finally starting to clear up. The wind is at our back and we're feeling pretty good. We got a late start. It's about 11:15 right now. We were hoping to leave earlier. But what can you do? There's not too many people in the lake. There's some people over there by the shore that we were talking to, 2 ladies. And early this morning, Mom seen a guy paddle by himself. I'm assuming he was staying at one of the campsites that were close by. But we're over halfway across Lowe's Lake. We're heading to the portage area where we will portage past Deer Pond and get on the Oswegatchie.
Okay, so I'm gonna put on my sneakers now. This is our canoe, and there's actually a campsite that you can stay back there if you want to. And this is the trail. It's really narrow and it'll probably be rooty, so hopefully we can make it all in one trip. We're getting the wheels on the canoes.
Why is that?
Okay, so I'm waiting on Micah. We already headed out, but he's running back to make sure the rest don't need help. And so far it's been going pretty well. I've just been bouncing the canoe and he's been pulling, and the mosquitoes are really bad. So we put on some bug spray. So whoever's worrying out there, we do have a piece of plastic that we were using underneath the kayak to make sure it's not directly dragging on the ground. Okay, so the mosquitoes are terrible. So behind me is Deer Pond. We can either walk around it or we can canoe through it, but I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do yet. Okay, so we're gonna end up canoeing through Deer Pond then. We are not gonna hit the trail with the canoes. So Deer Pond isn't that big, so we're just gonna canoe through it And then we're probably going to take an even longer trail over to the Oswegatchie. Okay, so we are on Deer Pond now, and we're going to canoe across this, and then I guess we'll see. I guess we're going to have to do the longer trail over to the Oswegatchie. Okay, so Deer Pond is very small, so it was tons of fun. It was super echoey. So yeah, we were having fun with that, and we did choose to go across it. We could have went around it. There is a trail, but we were so tired we just decided to load everything up and head across the lake. Okay, so Deer Pond is very small. It's just like a little circle, and you can see all the sides of it. So we don't have to paddle far, but it really gives us a break from walking the trail. So here's a swamp we headed through. It was a super narrow path, so we ended up carrying a lot of our luggage through by hand and then bringing the canoes across, and the boys actually had to like carry the canoes off the ground some of the time. There's a little creek, yeah, and it was just really narrow. Okay, so behind me is the swamp we just had to go through, and I don't think we're not even halfway yet to the Oswegatchie, so we still have a while to go, and the mosquitoes are really bad. So the boys had to carry the canoes across the swamp. There's just a very small, narrow trail. There's a little bit of a creek there, and the trail's really narrow. So they could push it a little bit, and they had to carry the canoes the rest of the way.
27. This hike is work.
So here's a mailbox that is across from the swamp, and people just have written who's all in their group and just different information about their trip maybe, and it's really interesting. Here was a log that was on the trail that the boys were trying to move away so we could squeeze the canoes through.
Okay, get over it like this and lift your finger to the bottom. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, we're going around it.
So we left Big Deer Pond at 2:45, and we're a little over halfway now, but it's like almost 4:45. So here the canoe had tipped over and some of the stuff had fallen out. Okay guys, so the trail is getting pretty bad and the boys are gonna try to take the canoes down while me and Mom, I have a bucket and a backpack, and we're just gonna walk ahead to the end and they're gonna come behind us with the canoes. But yeah, it's getting pretty bad and everyone's really tired. Okay guys, so it's around 6 o'clock now and the rest of the guys still are coming. Okay, so far the kayak was brought in one canoe and Mom's starting to set up the tent behind me and Josh was able to get a fire going. But we need to pump water because we don't have like any water, I don't think, at this point. So we need to pump water and the guys are super thirsty because it was like super hard to get the canoes with the wheels through this path because the path is super narrow and there's so many roots. And there was like a really steep hill going up and down. Good morning guys, so I'm down here at the Oswegatchie River. The river's a really slow, lazy flowing river. Not sure, maybe down further it'll get more flowing, but it's just kind of trailing along slowly. And today we're probably gonna pass some beaver dams. Altogether the Oswegatchie is like 18 miles long, so we probably won't make it the whole way out today. We camped right along the Oswegatchie last night and it was a really long trip for carrying heavy canoes over 200 pounds, including the stuff in the canoes and the canoe itself. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and remember, in the description box below I have a link for my first video, and the next video coming out will be us at High Falls and making it all the way to the end of our canoe trip on the Oswegatchie River. So make sure you stick around for that. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!